Stella Jane Penn here from SRP V8 Diamonds Mastery. I just wanted to also give a disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor. The information shared is for educational and informational purposes only and should never be considered financial advice. There is no guarantee of income inferred or implied. Whether you're brand new or have years of experience, always start with a demo account first. That is how I would educate you towards doing that, or maybe an account challenge as a funded account when testing new strategies, indicators, or tools. A demo account allows you to practice without putting your real money or a very small amount of it, if you're going to do so, at risk. Trade responsibly and always do your own research. Good morning, everybody. Stella Jane Penn in the house, pre-London session. So I just want to go through with you the 3-phase pattern breakout. Many of you have been asking me to do that. So I'm going to show you as I am in the moment. As I say, this is pre-London, so pre-8 o'clock UK time. And what you'll see here, this can often happen. I love the 3-phase pattern for anybody that knows me. But you'll see here, you'll see a high and a low, and you'll see I've marked those with a C. The C stands for, can you guess it? Consolidation. Okay, and what happened then, you'll see that price broke out to the upside and created a new high, which I marked with an E. And then it broke out the opposite side to a lower low, okay, which is also a little L. I don't know if you can see that because of my E. Now the E stands for expansion. So that is the expansion phase that I was looking for. Okay, now at this point we could do one of two things. I've marked the 50%. Okay, you'll see that by my white line. Now in this particular instance, I was happy to go ahead on the basis that I had a 3 candlestick closure to the upside from the 50%. But why I did it particularly is you'll see this macro trend arrow here. That is a big confirmation for me. Okay, it's pre-London session, and this expansion phase along with the consolidation phase moving into London, particularly on indices and on NASDAQ that I actually like to trade. Pre-London, pre-New York, you'll see them quite often. So you might want to have a little look for yourself. But on this basis, I went with the entry of the macro trend arrow on the close of that candle. You'll see I've just marked that so you can see on the entry, there's a little white line there. Okay. And I set mine up for a 1 to 3, which it already hit. I've actually moved that into profit. Okay. And it's now a risk-free trade and it's continuing to grow. It has already hit my 1 to 4. So let's just move that up. Let's see if it's actually going to go to a 1 to 5 or not. Okay, that's showing you in the moment what we're looking at. And as I say, we're about 5 minutes now from going into London. You'll also see that the primary trend line is blue, showing to us a strong uptrend. Like I showed you on the strength meter, it was 100 when I looked at it, the strongest it could be. At the moment it's at 40, it's in a pullback. Okay, the trend is up, indicating blue. The strength is up, indicating blue. The RSI is in the blue and has been above the blue. So we have some strong confirmations, but I wanted to show you the 3-phase pattern in live in the moment. What you could do, and this is also another technique that I've shared with Dr. Josh Lee as well, is you can mark out the expansion phase here. Okay, if you didn't want to go ahead on the 50% and you wanted to wait, you could mark just a little bit above these of the E's, above and below. Okay, and then what you would be looking for if you really wanted something even more confirming, or if a possible second setup, you would be looking at least for a 3 candlestick closure above the expansion phase, and we already have that. Okay, so that is the 3-phase pattern breakout live in the moment pre-London. Happy trading, everybody. So I'm just showing you a 3-phase pattern breakout, okay? This was pre-London. It's still going in the moment as we speak. I came to the charts, okay, and firstly I saw the NAS 100 USD. You'll see that the trend is up. It's a blue arrow here. The strength is up, another blue arrow. That was actually 100. I've actually popped some screenshots as well for you to see. It's just turned it again now, okay? Strong uptrend. We have a primary trend line which is blue. Price is above that, indicating to us that price is in an uptrend, okay, along with, like I just covered with you, our trend and our strength, and 100, which is the strongest it can be, okay. And what I did is I marked C's here. You'll see there is a high and a low, and I put C's. They stand for consolidation, and then you'll see that price broke out to the upside, marked with an H, which is a high, and I put an E, that's for expansion. We're looking for that expansion phase because it moved back down and went lower than the previous low, and the high was higher than the previous high. So that's an expansion phase. Then what I was doing is I marked that white line, and that is the 50% line. What I looked at myself personally is I saw that macro trend arrow. Now that is a trend shift indication too, and a very, very strong one. So in this particular instance, you'll see here, that was good enough for myself from that 50%. That was my decision in this particular moment. And you'll see at the moment, it has already hit my 1 to 3. I've already moved a stop loss into profit. I have a risk-free trade. And the next I'm looking for is it to hit that 1 to 4. So let's just take another look at this. So I want to show you why and how and when I moved my stop loss into profit, a small profit to cover the things like spread, okay, and then it makes it a risk-free trade before it went on to hit the 1 to 5. Okay, so once it actually hit my 1 to 3, I moved my stop loss here. You'll see it's no longer, that red part's gone. I moved it into profit, and it's actually a small profit, and that covers, as I say, your spread. You want it to at least do that. That's your risk-free trade. And it went on to hit a 1 to 5. You'll see that there. Okay, I've left that on the screen for you. You'll see though, after that we have London Open, and you are going to then experience the pullbacks. It could go into a different phase altogether. I shared the orb with you, and this is where we are again, live in the moment. Once you go into London from pre-London with the 3-phase pattern breakout, you can now begin to look for your open range breakout if you wish to do that. And you could still be, whether or not you did this or whether you didn't, you could still be in the trade. Or like myself, if you start early, you could have already taken your 1 to 5 on this particular trade. Many don't let these play out. You know, you are going to actually experience pullbacks. And I just want to show and always be real and show you in the moments.